Live look at the Capitol this morning, 7:23, 23 degrees outside for us. Well, with the swipe of a pen, President Trump drastically changes the country's immigration policy. Joining us this morning, Director of the Bush Institute, Laura Collins. Good morning, Laura. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Okay, so it appears what President Trump says and what the orders say or read are a little bit different. So he says if you're in this country illegally and you commit a crime, you're going to be out of here. The order, though, when you look at it, seems to go a little further, right?
Well, I think it's important when we talk about executive orders and immigration policy to frame it in a couple of different ways. And we like to, at the Bush Institute, think of immigration policy in terms of prosperity, vitality, and security. One of the things that's kind of difficult about executive orders is they're temporary. They really only last through one administration. We also know that the judicial branch is probably going to end up making a lot of the decisions about what these executive orders actually are able to do because they're going to be legal challenges. And so we know that there were a lot of executive orders done yesterday. We know a lot of them reversed Biden administration priorities. We don't really know how far they're going to get to go because we know judicial challenges are going to come, including on all of the enforcement pieces.
Yeah, I was looking at the wording, and basically it said that anyone without legal papers could be deported. Anyone who recently crossed the border. It basically said non-citizens hailing from a U.S. deemed enemy country could be deported. And like, we don't. Doesn't say what those countries are or who decides which countries are enemy countries. So there still seems to be a lot to be sorted out, right?
Absolutely. One of the things that was really missing, I think, from these executive orders was a plan for a pro-growth immigration agenda. We know immigration can benefit the United States economy. We know that there are enough open jobs in this country that if every prime working age American were to enter the workforce today, we would still have millions of jobs open. And so these executive orders were so focused on enforcement, so focused on security, that they really weren't taking into consideration the fact that our labor force still really needs to be augmented a little bit by foreign labor, a little bit by some other tactics, but really immigration is one of those places where we could slot that in. We still haven't seen that coming from this administration yet, but it is still early.
Day one.
It's only day two.
Yeah, now we're on day two. A lot of people talking about the Constitution and if it does or does not cover birthright citizenship, because the president says, or said yesterday, if you're a child born in this country to non-citizen parents, you're now automatically not a U.S. citizen. But then we're hearing from a lot of people saying, no, that is protected by the 14th Amendment.
It's been long-standing law in the United States that the 14th Amendment says that if you are born in the United States, that you are a U.S. citizen. So we expect to see this particular executive order challenged. So this is another case where immigration policy will be made by the courts, not by Congress, which is where we really would like to see changes. I don't really see Congress taking on birthright citizenship. It doesn't seem to be terribly popular, although there have been bills filed in the last few years that would define better what birthright citizenship should be under the 14th Amendment. But again, you really should expect to see a lot of this settled by the judicial branch and in the courts.
Even what the border looks like started changing yesterday. I know I saw some armed guards at the El Paso border location yesterday, where the entry point is. Texas governor put out more buoys in the Rio Grande yesterday. Construction of the border wall has been started again. So definitely it looks a little different and will look different as we go forward. The enforcement of all of this, if you're going to, take all these people and make them leave the country, that would, I think, back up the system. This could take a long time.
We already have an immigration system that's just not adequate to the needs of today. We don't bring in enough workers. And then, as you referenced, the asylum system is really backed up already. Asylum is one of the only legal methods some people have to enter this country, which is why you see so much strain at the border. You referenced the removals, and the administration, and when they were campaigning, they promised mass removals. And if you really did want to remove 11 million undocumented people from the United States, you'd really hurt our GDP. About $1 trillion in GDP would be lost. It'd take probably about 20 years. It'd be $400 to $600 billion. And that would assume that you're able to stop other people from entering the country in the meantime. So we know that that is something that is a priority. The odds of getting all 11 million out of here in 4 years, I think, are very slim.
All right. More to come. Laura Collins, thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.
Thank you.